If I'm being completely honest with you, I didn't choose my university in France the right way. At that time, I thought I did. I thought I had researched enough. I thought I knew what I was doing. But looking back today, after almost 2 years in France, I realized that I made one of the biggest decisions of my life under pressure. And that's exactly why I wanted to make this video. Because if you're planning to study in France in 2026 or 2027, or even beyond, you're probably doing what I did. Looking at rankings, websites, beautiful campuses, looking at Instagram pages, and thinking that's enough. But it's not. Because you're not just choosing a university, you are choosing your future opportunities, your internships, your network, your first job, and in some cases, even the city where you'll build your life. Hi, I'm Sonia, an Indian student living in France. And before we start, if you're planning to study in France, make sure you're subscribed. Because this entire France Roadmap series is basically everything I wish someone had told me before I moved here. Now, let's talk about choosing a university. And no, I'm not going to tell you which university is good or bad. I'm going to show you how to think before choosing one. The biggest mistake students make is choosing a university based on what they see. The website, the ranking, the social media, the city, the aesthetics. And trust me, I understand. I did the same thing. When I was applying, I was more excited about moving to France than I was focused on understanding what would happen after I arrive. And that's dangerous because the reality starts after you arrive, not before. Now, what I'm about to tell you is probably going to be the most important thing in this entire video. And I genuinely regret not doing this properly. Open LinkedIn, type the name of a university, let's say HEC, ESSEC, SKEMA, or any other university that you are considering. Then click on people and start looking, not randomly. Look at 3 things. First, where are graduates actually working? Not what the brochure says, but what are the real graduates actually doing right now? Second, how long did it take them to get there? Did they get internships quickly? Did they get jobs quickly? And third, look at people who graduated recently, not 10 years or 15 years ago, because today's market is completely different. And ask yourself one simple question. If these were my outcomes after graduation, would I still choose this university? Because that's the reality you're buying into, not the marketing. And the next thing that students underestimate is the city. Because when people hear Paris, Lyon, Nice, Toulouse, all they think about is tourism. But I don't. I think opportunities. Because the city determines what companies are around you, what networking events happen, what kind of internships are available, what industries are hiring. For example, if you're interested in luxury, fashion, beauty, marketing, Paris is a completely different ecosystem. And this is something I didn't fully understand before moving here. 2 universities can have similar rankings, but completely different outcomes simply because where they are located. By the way, if you've already started shortlisting universities, tell me in the comments which universities you're considering. I'm genuinely curious to see what schools are people looking at for 2026. And then we need to talk about French, because this is where many students make another mistake. They say, I'll learn French after I arrive. And honestly, that's exactly what many students say. The problem is, later arrives much faster than you think. Even if your degree is in English, your life isn't. Your internship search isn't. Your networking isn't. And your future job search definitely isn't. French gives you options, a lot of options. Now, the biggest lesson I learned is this. I thought getting admitted was the hard part. And it wasn't. Getting admitted was actually the easiest part. Building a career afterwards was much harder than I expected. Because admission gets you into France. But internships, networking, language skills, experience, those are the things that build your future. If I had to start everything again tomorrow, here's exactly what I would do. First, I would choose based on the course, not the ranking. Second, I would spend hours researching alumni on LinkedIn. Third, I would check internship opportunities around the city. Fourth, I would start learning French before even applying. And only after doing all of that would I accept an offer. Because choosing a university isn't just about where you will be studying. It's about choosing the opportunities you'll have access to for the next few years. And if there's one thing I want you to remember from this video, it's this. Don't choose a university because it looks impressive. Choose one because it gives you the best chance of building the future you actually want for yourself. In the next episode, we are going to talk about something students keep asking me a lot. Public universities versus business schools in France. What's the difference? Which one is better? And which one actually makes sense for your situation? So, if you're following the France Roadmap series, make sure you're subscribed. And tell me in the comments, what's the biggest factor influencing your decision right now? Rankings, budget, French, internships, or something else? And I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, bye-bye.